I've come across numerous articles regarding this Ogallala Aquifer topic. And just like you were thinking now, I also thought at that time, what the heck is that? The Ogallala Aquifer has been a running discussion for several decades, and nobody seems to know how to fix it. Most of the audience here, if not all, lives in Kansas, so it directly correlates to your everyday living. Do you drink water, live on a farm, water your garden or crops? How often do you get a letter in the mail saying you use too much water? This is important to college students because we are the next generation that will have to deal with this problem. When the Ogallala Aquifer runs out, what will Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma do for water? Today I'm going to inform you about the depletion of the Ogallala Aquifer through the lack of regulation, the amount of water that is being used, and the consequences we will face due to the exhaustion of the aquifer caused by humans. As most might not know what the Ogallala Aquifer is, I'm going to begin by explaining what it is and how the lack of regulation has affected the aquifer. According to National Geographic, the aquifer has been accumulating for the past 15,000 years. An aquifer, by definition, is an absorbent layer of rock that contains or transfers water. It was discovered in 1889, and it has been taken advantage of for ever since it was discovered, and by using hundreds of gallons of water at a time. In 1930, President Roosevelt recommended a regulation on the amount of water being used, according to National Geographic, but nothing ever happened to that. This showing of lack of regulation, such as explained in National Geographic, from a well they measured, drilled in 1948 at a farm they visited. It pumped 1,000 gallons a minute, able to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in half a day. Stated also in National Geographic, states monitor water usage, recording how much is being pumped, but groundwater in Kansas and Nebraska belongs to the public. What's on paper often exceeds what's in the ground. An owner of a farm in National Geographic stated, "Local control is not working. It's not the farmer's job to decide about the aquifer, it's the government's job." Now that you know what an aquifer is and the lack of regulation on the Ogallala, let's discuss the actual amount of water being used. Stated in a study, Water for Crops, Cattle May Dry Up, the aquifer is already 30% pumped out. It could be 70% pumped out by 2060. "We've overdone a good thing," Jay Garrison says in National Geographic. "We know we are overdrafting the Ogallala, but we are also landlocked into the microeconomic decisions that we can't manage on a larger level." They also encountered another farmer that uses 2 billion gallons of water a year to water 30,000 acres of wheat and corn. It is being pumped faster than rain and snow melt can replenish. As a result, the aquifer has declined by 60% in parts of Kansas. In 2015, National Geographic stated rainfall was 50 to 100% above normal, and the aquifer still dropped in water level. A farmer in a study, Water for Crops, Cattle May Dry Up, stated, "We are depleting at current rates of withdrawal, and we must significantly reduce pumping if we are to extend the lifetime of the resource." Now that you know the kind of hole we are producing underneath our feet, I'm going to inform you of the consequences we will face due to the exhaustion of the aquifer. According to the Ogallala, previous extinction prediction was of the year 2000. Luckily, we have lengthened the lifetime of the aquifer. Farmers that have owned farms for generations are having to sell their farms. Stated in a study, Water for Crops, Cattle May Dry Up, even with the efficient irrigation, agricultural production will decrease in the 2040s because wells are continuously running out. Also stated in a Water for Crops study, Cattle May Dry Up, 80% drop will make the aquifer sustainable. An 80% drop would also cut agricultural production, producing 12% less cattle, down about 500,000 head of cattle. Not only crops and livestock don't have water, but what will we humans do for water? As we continue to use the Ogallala as a resource, we will eventually run out of water. I've provided you information about the Ogallala Aquifer and how there is a lack of regulation, a substantial amount of water being used, and the consequences we will face due to the exhaustion of the aquifer. The next time you leave a sink running, take an extra long shower, or water your garden, remember where it's coming from. As you now know what the Ogallala Aquifer is, you can now relate to the decrease in water. If it does not affect you now, it will in the near future.